In this lesson, we will talk about dynamic column. We will talk about 3 different ways to achieve dynamic column, which include using formula, using data parameters, and use conditional formatting. First, I will introduce using formula to achieve dynamic columns. Creating a dataset query DS1, select all from Sales Basic. Just need to drag in the table Sales Basic. Take a preview of the dataset and click OK. Next, as the video shown, we insert the formula to A2, B1, and B2. For the formula in B1, we can get the selected column names. Notice that we need to set the horizontal expansion. The formula in A2 gets all the row numbers of DS1. We need to set the vertical expansion. The formula in B2 gets a specific column or row number in DS1. We don't need to set up the expansion for B2. To make the report look good, add inner and outer border to it, and add a background for the title row. Then click on Template and pick Template Parameter to add a new parameter. Rename it to Column and click OK. Then we can go to Edit the parameter pane. Click on Add All, which will automatically set up the widgets for the parameter pane. We can change the custom widgets to drop-down checkbox widget and add a data dictionary for it. The type is formula as shown, which means get all the field names in DS1. The display value is $3, which means the current value. Check the validity of the formula and click OK. Then we can take a preview of the report. We can see that we can select some of the columns and the output is the corresponding information of those columns. In the next section, we will talk about using dataset parameters to achieve dynamic column. First of all, create a dataset query as shown. Notice that after select, we have set up a parameter column, and the default value is a star sign, which means under the default condition, we will select all. Then let's design the report. From A1 to F1, enter the formula as shown. You can refer to the help document for more information about this formula. Notice that the number N at the end of the formula is different for 6 cells. N is from 1 to 6 as a column name. Then we drag the data in the dataset to the report and select from left to right. Edit the data column for A2 to F2. The dataset is DS1 and the data column is number 1 to number 6, corresponding with the number N. The data setting is list and the expansion direction is vertical. The number N means the column number. For example, number 1 means the data in column 1. For more specific information, take a look of our help document. To make the report look good, let's add border and background to the title row. Click on Conditional Formatting, select the plus sign, and select the background color to blue. Add a border. For the type, we enter the formula as shown, which checks if the cells is empty or if the title row will appear. Click Add and we are done editing the conditional formatting. Then we need to edit the parameter pane. drag in a label widget and enter the column. Then drag in a drop-down checkbox widget and set up the data dictionary. Still use formula as a type. The formula for actual value is shown here. We don't need to set up for display value. Don't forget to add a query button. Then let's create another dataset query DS2. Enter the SQL query as shown. We are getting all the column names by using one record. Add a JS event for the query button. Add a parameter A. The value is formula as shown. Then add a JavaScript as shown. For here, we will not do further expansion. You can refer to our help document. Finally, change the name of the widget. Select from A2 to F2 and add a conditional formatting border. The type is formula. Same as before, this formula is to check if the cell is empty, which means to add orders only to those cells with data. Take a preview of the report and select some of the columns, and output is the corresponding information. Next, we will talk about using conditional formatting to achieve dynamic column. First of all, create a dataset query as shown. Take a preview and hit OK. Add the pre-made title rows into the report and drag in the corresponding data. Select from left to right. Add inner and outer border to the report. Select from A1 to F1 and add a background color. Then let's edit the parameter pane. Drag in the label widget. The value is column. Then drag in a drop-down checkbox widget. Change the name to column. And set up the data dictionary. We will use custom. We are entering all the fields names for convenience. Then add a query button. Select from A1 to F1 and add conditional formatting column width. The operator is not in, and we compare with the parameter. Take a preview. We select some of the columns and the output is the corresponding information of those columns. That's all for today's lesson. Thank you for watching.